Today at Weekend at Bernie's Garage, we're going to make some log exhaust manifolds. Like this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Weekend at Bernie's Garage YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing some more exhaust manifold work on the old truck. Let's see what we got here. As before, you know, we made this exhaust manifold to clear steering shaft. And anyway, while I was at it, I got it cut out here locally. As you can see, you know, there are the flanges there. Got to cut out two sets. We're making a few of these lately for my own use. But anyway, the only thing didn't take it too long to program it in is just, and he probably could have not put the holes through it, but you know, it's not. He only done it for me basically, and I think it was Powell, so he didn't. You know, if he was making the sale or something, but it's not too bad to knock out a few holes into it anyway. So anyway, I'll insert a video there now shortly, showing him cutting them out on the plasma table, and we'll bring these over to the bench and we'll mark out the holes into them. So it's nothing big on this one. I'm just going to lay the gasket down, and we're just going to circle all the holes into it, color them in, and then we'll center punch them all after. This one's here kind of overhangs a bit there, that's fine. They're made when you put them on, you put the two end bolts in, and then just drop the gasket on in between it after. We're going to put a round hole into them. And that should be it. So we'll take it off like so, and we'll just center punch the holes and drill them out on the press. Okay, so while you weren't here, I just took the bit, got it centered in where the supposed to go, in where I put the punches, as I can see a little bit. I didn't drill them right through. I'm going to put some oil. I'll go around and I'll add some oil to the puddles part, so to speak. And I'll add more as I need it. I'll go, what is it now? We'll just take it and we'll drill it through. Okay, so they're all drilled. So you got the shadow there. And you can see easily, you can take your gasket, lay your gasket back over and check your holes. As you can see, they're all pretty good. Yeah. So anyway, that's the flange made. So the other part too, while we're making these manifolds, every other one of them we made out of 2.5 inch schedule 40. But for the truck, and we never had a whole lot of room around the steering shaft, we made it out of schedule 40, but it was a 2 inch. But still, that's still bigger than the manifold that will be inside of it. And as you realise, schedule 40 is measured on the inside diameter, so it's actually pretty big. So anyway, when next thing we'll do now, we'll bolt this to the cylinder head, and we'll take our length of schedule 40 here that we used, and really, I mean, you know, the pieces we put in, you all got to be spaced the same as these, so we can pretty well draw them out on it. Probably once we get done, knock it through a plasma cutter. And like I said, you can do it anywhere in the pipe, because you come up here, obviously when the piece comes out, you'll end up taking some off it anyway at some point. But just as you can get it started an inch away from the side, and decide how much on the end you want to take off here or cap off after, whatever. But anyway, we'll get this bolted to the head, and we'll check back shortly. Alright, so the flange is on. The bolted on, but God knows what bolts I had here. But anyway, it's important to get the flange down flat on the head, and to put all the bolts into it when you're making these, because if it's a bow into it, once you start swelling everything together, the bolts will go in it. So we got them all down now. Okay, so the head is laid down on the bench, and just a little comparison. We had bigger holes and bigger stuff, but this is what we used on, I think that's 1.25 inches, I think it is, or 1 inch anyway, but it'll be written out there somewhere. It's kind of hard to see. But anyway, that's the size we used on the manifolds when we were doing the square body, and the manifolds for the Firebird. And obviously the flanges here will be bigger, the holes into them, you order them the size you need them. For this here, when we got these done, these are the ones we're using, and basically it's push them in, and there you have it. Just like that. You want to put them straight and tip them back a little bit. The plug wire comes up here. You can see the spark plug comes up here. Alright, you can't put them back like that, but you know, no trouble putting them on a small bin if you want them. And anyway, so while it's now, please mix anyway. So there's your pipe on it, like there. I really only put the holes where you want to and lift the pipe up to it. You trace them out, but again, like I said with the gasket, you should be able to take the exhaust gasket, just here, once you get it where you want to. Obviously, you know, it's a bit bigger than that on the inside of it, but we'll trace around it, but that's pretty well spaced what the pieces are, you know. So anyway, you could obviously you could trace them out and put them down, put the holes into it, like I said, this is going on the passenger side of the car or truck, so you know, it'll be pretty well here, and it'll be exhaust dumped down on this end, right? That there, yeah. Oh, this piece there. So this it'll be, you know, go where you want to it, and anyway, if you wanted to dump up further, you can put it here, put that piece to the top of it, or so on, right? Look back on the truck. You know, we had about an inch, then we dumped her down. And if you look over this side, same thing. By the time we put it down, there's lots of room back here. But we punch the holes into it, we get it, and we'll trim it. You can always trim it back to where you want the other piece to. Anyway, time to get there. Okay, so you can see we got them dried out the lines onto it, traced out the gasket, like I said. Just took the gasket and probably laid it onto it, just bent it a bit. We're not using that gasket anyway. So they're all four of them. Now, if you had it for the drill press, it would be a good time to get like a hole saw and drill it down through there. Nice and clean way to do it. But as you look at that hole saw, he's gone. All teeth are gone off it. That's the size I needed. So anyway, looks like we're going to bring it over, and we'll knock them out with the plasma cutter. So you need to take one of these with us and just, you know, see how he fits into it or whatever. Here we go. And it just fell down. See, we're pretty close. More rock on the top here. That's pretty good. We're going to sit there and clean up dog liner. Move on to the next one. So okay, there you have it. Pretty good. Back one looks a bit ugly, but nothing a bit of welding can't fill in. So anyway, time to bring her back over to the table and just lay them out in place. So the points lay back on the table. Let's see. So what we do now is we just take them, lay them in the head, lay them down the hole. So they're out pretty well, but when we go actually to put them in, you can center them up a bit better where you want to. Just hold them until you tack them. Alright, I mean, you might want that one up a bit. But anyway, with the other one, we needed the manifold or this pipe really close to the head, because the steering shaft ran down it. The other side we got lots of room, there's none there. We're not concerned with getting as close in as we can. So anyway, if we did, we just move the pipe a bit further and tip these down on a steeper angle. But anyway, for now, should be fine. Like I said, we'll put them all in, tack them all in place, and we'll probably cut it off here and see where we're going to put this piece onto, and at least probably take it off and bring it over, put it on the truck. Just fit it before we goes, before we goes welded fully. All right. Okay, so got our tack in there for now. So we're going to go over, look at the head, see where we're going to put this piece. We're not going to weld this on till we get it on the truck. I sort of made that mistake with the other side. I welded it on, and in the end of it, it was tipped in too much towards the motor. So no big deal. It's got to come off again anyway. But I'll show you quickly. You can see it. It's terrible there again. But anyway, it tips in more than I want it to. So we'll go in there or whatever. So yeah. So I'll do it now. We'll once we take this off, we'll just tip it a little bit out the other way. It's not that big of a deal. So anyway, this one we'll know beforehand. Again, now we can chop this off here. You know, there's nothing in front of here anyway. But I mean, if you're going to do these, you didn't know which side you're putting them on, you can build them all exactly the same, and leave 2 inches there, leave 2 inches there. And if you comes over and says, well, I want the exhaust to run on that side, you put the angle over there. When the rods come over there, you put it over here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I cut it in half. Let's have a look at the other one again, but I'm pretty sure I only use 45 degrees of it. So, okay. Over the door, get a little bit more light in here. You see in there. So, there we go. Manifolds in. Just got to cap this in now. I actually welded this on one in the truck, so it's not pointed the wrong way. But that's pretty well it. All it is now is finish welding it and get the rest of the exhaust onto it then. Anyway, that's side number 2. Okay, got most of the welding done on it, and as you can see, we got our cap down the end there. She's fully welded all around, and we got the piece on the down. So next thing, we'll shove it on the truck and see how she looks. Okay, so it's back on the truck. As you can see, it's nice. Room under there for a control arm, and like I said, really now, see it goes down. All we do is put a band clamp around there or some little flange on to run the exhaust of it. But that's it. Looking good. So anyway, that's both the exhaust, manifolds, and steering shaft clears. So anyway, after doing the manifolds, figure a little info onto it. Very easy to make. As you can see, we done it all over there on an old cylinder head. You know, tighten it down, make sure it don't warp, and you know, in all the holes. And just take some time, spread the heat out, don't weld completely around. You can actually weld a little, and you can use like a air gun, you know, compressed air, blow it, cool it if you want. But if you take your time going around, you know, spread the welds out, you know, spread do it a 1/4 inch and then move on to another tube. It won't work. It'll stay good. You gotta remember, you're welding up schedule 40 steel, so I mean, it's not like it's something that's going to go really. And the the flanges are 3/8 thick, so I mean, you know, they can absorb a lot of heat. It can still work, but like I said, it's not like you're really thin metal, and you know, so they're easy to make. They're not expensive to make. The flanges I got made here, I think they're on. Well, I bought them 3 or 4 years ago, or it's probably not even that long. But the last time I bought them at Summit Racing, I think they were $39 US for a pair. And anyway, they've after going up a lot. They've almost doubled. But anyway, you get them made locally, or you know, it's pretty easy. But them weld elbows, they're like $2.50 an elbow. So and the big 2.5 inch 45 or 90, they're around probably $7, or whatever it was, 2 inch plug. I think it was this one. But I mean, it's it's pretty easy. I mean, really, if you had the flanges, each one, the rest of the stuff in the material is, you know, you're probably only in them for probably $15 a side for the other materials. So, you know, it's good. And with us, like obviously LS motor, in an S10 chassis, you could buy headers for that, but the motor shifted back, and like the steering shaft is, you know, it's moved around, so you're not going to buy one that's going to fit it without work anyway. So for Weekend at Bernie's Garage YouTube channel, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.